Hello, this is Jeff, and this is Del Monte Beach, a poem by a friend of mine, and I'm looking very forward to reading it. So I have my little notepad over here so that we can add some thoughts. What few thoughts arise. I'm sure I probably won't have quite as much to elaborate on, but I will try my best. I'm not quite the most experienced poetical editor, but you know, it's how you get better. You try. All right, so Del, I'm going to read it through once, and then we're going to go in detail, and then add markup if we have any. Probably won't. Del Monte Beach, after Marie Ponceau and Kabir. I have, unfortunately, my lack of culture leaves me no idea who those people are, but, you know, we're trying our best here. Okay, so dawn reveals ravage, night hunt of sea, mets out gifts, tangled kelp cord, a mass exposed entrails, alien bodies, automata. So I do like that this gives me the image with the kelp cord of like these like, you know, kind of tangles of junk on the beach. Like I know exactly what that image is, and where you're drawing, you know, where you're taking me is cool, right? Like you have this really good grounded anchor image. I shouldn't give markup now, but it's working so far. Bodies atomized to quintessence, alien, no more sea lions bloat, backwash sea, each lone carcass, a crow cratered record. Her ripples mirror my elemental discord, resembling God, a promise to which I'm alien. First light fluoresces, far swaths of wrinkled sea, sea-strummed light chords body me unalienated. That's you know, the poetry snapping, right? I mean, that's awesome. That's awesome. So I'm probably more going to be able to pick out what I like than things I would edit, because I just don't have quite as much. But I think the first note I have is I like the fact that, you know, you're able to balance a very clear image with like a very direct metaphor, right? Like, so I think the kelp cord, alien entrails, and kind of the fact you're able to kind of turn that into an image, turn that into something beyond just the concrete is really nice. So I think, you know, yeah, and whether this is intentional or not, and like, you know, so we have, you know, the organizations, like different bodies atomized, so that's these like little dots, you know, right? Like atomized I see as like these little small precise things, to quintessence. I'm not sure exactly what that's supposed, like, you know, quintessence is kind of like perfection, I think, right? Let me Google that real quick. Remember, this ain't I'm a fiction guy. I don't do this, you know. Quintessence. All right. Okay. So, alien, no more, sea lions bloat. So again, you're kind of anchoring us with this, like, hey, we're looking at a sea lion now, like, right? And I like that the fact that like there's a bit of like metaphorical language before we get to like the concrete image. That gives me a little bit of leaning forward, like what on Del Monte Beach does this materialize into? So I think that's good suspense. You know, good suspense, leading me in with like, you know, the like metaphorical image before going concrete into like the thing on that beach. Each lone carcass, a crow cratered record. So I really love that word choice. Crow cratered is awesome. Great alliterative language. But for me, I don't know exactly what that. Very hard, at least for me, to draw that. So like bodies atomized. I can picture that with sea lions scattered on the beach. To quintessence, maybe a little bit less. Alien, no more. You know, maybe that's referring back to like the kelp and the entrails, and like there's kind of more just gunk all over the beach, and that tracks. Sea lions bloat, backwash sea, you know, again, like all those are kind of matching, and this might be your goal, right? Is to say, hey, this last line I'm gonna bend it a little bit so it's not as linear of an understanding. But I definitely am noticing, whether or not it's a note or not, noticing that crow cratered record does strike a little bit differently. It does have different connotation than a lot of the other phrases. It feels like it's taking me in a different direction. And maybe that is like kind of the turn of your poem, but oh, okay, I get it. It's like the black dots, crow cratered. Bing. Okay, I got it. Like that. I'm just slow, but I think that's a cool one. Anyways, I do like the mirroring here of this little colon to, separate her ripples mirror my elemental discord. So I do like that, right? Where like this kind of like scattered darkness in a beach or like scattered thoughts mirror her ripples, right? Like I think that's a really great use of bringing the scene into the speaker and letting that, letting kind of what you've been building develop the speaker character, right? So I do like that a lot. The record part, yeah, cratered record for some reason. I know what you're trying to say now, but I for some reason that doesn't. It's not. It's not sinking in quite as much for me as some of the other stuff. But something to. But again, like I'm probably reading this wrong in many levels, so take that with a grain of salt. I'm a fiction editor. I don't do poetry. Yeah. But feels missing a bit of concreteness. What's it recording? A busy mind. Yeah, I just feel like it's not specific enough. Maybe is what I'm feeling with the cratered record. It's like a little bit too vague of a image for me. I do like the her ripple. I like her ripples mirror. Is a great line. Yeah, my elemental discord, resembling God, a promise to which I'm alien. And I do like that things are kind of broken up here in the same way. Like, right, like poems are a lot about using, the position of words on the page to support the poetic, right? The poem, what it's trying to express, right? So I do like that the words are broken up, things are kind of broken up. Resembling God, a promise to which I'm alien. So I like that this recurring alien thing is coming in, right? And what's good is you're doing it all in the last line, right? So they're mirroring nicely along this right side of your poem. And then we have unalienated at the end, which is your turn, right? So I see this like alien thematic coming through in each stanza. Look at that. I remember this, I still got it. And we have C and record, discord, chord, right? So like there's a lot of these, last lines I know. Oopsie, I don't know what I did there. Okay, last lines in poems are very, very important. That's one of the things I did learn from my poetry classes, is like the last line matters. It's like very, it's where like a lot of the rubber hits the road. So like discord, alien, C, discord, alien, C, discord, alien, C, like chord, alien, discord. It's like this is kind of that last line pattern that we're getting, which is a very noisy, right? It's like there's so much going on. It's so chaotic. It's alien. It's non-normal. And guess what? In the last line we have chords, like chords, body, me, unalienated. And, embodied, right? So, like, rather than being this discordant jumble of entrails, you're a whole body in the end. So I think that's like a really, really nice progression of the poem. I think that's a clever way of setting it up. And guess what? This line does not have all this wild kind of spacing, right? There's not these like no longer bloated sea line blackened crows everywhere. And sort of thinking, resembling God, a promise to which I'm alien, first light fluorescence, far swaths of a wrinkled sea. So again, this section, I'm not sure exactly. Like this one's the part I'm having the most trouble with. Like I get the build here. I kind of see what you're going for here, where it's like, hey, her ripples mirror this elemental thing. Her elemental discord, resembling God, a promise to which I'm alien. So like sort of saying, hey, I'm having to act in faith. I'm having to go and do something that is, totally beyond my normal behavior. But there's like, and this sea, like, so there's this kind of unknown, because we've been associating the sea image with this unknown entity, right? This like kind of foreign, dark, the first time we introduce sea is Night Hunt of the Sea, which is not like a super like cozy image, right? So it's this kind of dangerous foreign thing, and then the sea strummed light chords body me unalienated. So again, and this is, from my reading at least, is kind of this return towards saying, this there is wholeness still. Just being there, maybe on Del Monte Beach in the sun, just listening and like relaxing is like, even though there's discordance everywhere, there is still, even in like, it sounds like the speaker's personal like existence, right? Where there's like a promise that, like, sort of like Abraham going out, go to this land, and he's like, well, what land? He's like, just go, just go. Like this kind of like dangerous, like risky promise, like going out into like an ocean promise. Um, but in the midst of that, there are still these moments of being unalienated and, kind of being embodied, no longer like busted out entrails, alien, these types of things. So, I mean, that's my reading of it. Overall, I think, so what do I think? I think the good is like just the language and imagery is next level. Equals next level. Yeah, I love the echoing words. Give like a nice like sub narrative. Like the C chord alien, C chord alien, C chord alien, like Discord record, alien, and like da 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 da. Like that's all working. I do feel like record. I didn't really like. I know that this is matching the chords, but for some reason this one just did not ring as like. Maybe I'm just like weird, right? Totally valid. I could be just wrong. The things that I would improve is like I feel like this this section here where we're talking about the speaker is a little tougher for me to just internalize. So whether that's your goal, whether it should be more abstract and whether it should be a little bit more pulled back, it made this resolution of kind of re-embodying the speaker, unalienating the speaker, hit a little bit less hard because I had less of a sense of like, what is the elemental discord mean to the speaker? Is it just this like scatterbrainedness? Is it this like, kind of like battle scarred beach, because we have this like cratered record, right? So that I felt, at least for me, the things that I would improve is if I would just look again, like, and maybe it's fine, right? Like it's really what the poet's intention is. But for my reading, I'll just put second look. I would just do like, cratered record. I love the ripples bit, so like, cratered record, through, wrinkled C, minus the ripples line. I know that's like totally incomprehensible, but hopefully I'll watch this little short and you'll know what I mean. But yeah, I love her ripples mirror my elemental discord, resembling God, a purpose to which I'm alien, first light fluorescence, far swaths of a wrinkled sea. I kind of get, like, hey, I'm going out, like, in this, like, kind of, like, I'm following a promise to this, like, alien seascape, and, I kind of am getting that vibe, but for me, it doesn't connect to this, like, disembodied beach quite as closely, like, as in, like, because this is more of, from my reading at least, like, kind of embarking out, like, discordant, embarking out onto this ocean, and maybe that's what we're going for, like, again, like, this is like a very unpoetic person's reading of it. But yeah, I just wonder, like, yeah, there probably can be something that's like a little bit more concrete in there to like anchor me, so I can pull that image a little bit more sharply in my mind, and when I get to that final C strum lights chords body me unalienated, when I kind of get to that, hey, like even in the midst of all this discord of all these separate things, I'm returning home. That's like a really amazing line. So it's just more like, hey, how can like that. How can it get like, built up and bolstered so it like makes that line count even more. But overall, great job. This is an awesome poem. I think you have a lot to be proud of here. I'm absolutely positive I could not write a poem like this. This is absolutely amazing. So, take this with a grain of salt. I do fiction editing. I do like narrative stuff, but poetry is an art that I just kind of, stand in awe of from afar, and this is one of those poems that definitely accomplishes that. So great work. This is amazing. Del Monte Beach. And I hope this helps in your revisions, or just, lets you know you have another fan that's just blown away by your awesome work. So great job. And I can't wait to see what you come up with next.